Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Red Sea podcast. This is Dennis, as always, and this looks quite weird, doesn't it? Looks insane up until a point. I am having some issues with the camera, so if you see me looking that way constantly, it's because I can't really see myself. So I need to have the YouTube stream open to see myself. But yeah, been a minute, been a hot minute, so I need to get back into the groove of it all. But what a show to come back, honestly. If you all can, do let me know if anything goes wrong, because there is a small, tiny chance that I won't be able to actually catch it if it goes wrong. But yeah, wouldn't be the Red Sea podcast if I didn't have technical issues the minute I returned from a couple of days hiatus. But yeah, we move, we adapt, and we overcome, as usual. Getting slowly but surely into the game, because I don't want to bore you all with shameless promos the minute I'm back. I just want to apologize as well, because I am aware I look like a bit of a crackhead, but it's still the first week, so the meds are still kicking my ass a bit. But I miss this. I honestly miss this a lot, and I'm more than happy to be back. I am honestly the happiest to be back doing this. Of course, the same stood true for the social as well, but it's different to come here and just chat with you all after a game, and a game like this, honestly, a game that I don't think anyone expected to go this well, a game that I don't think anyone expected to have 6 different scorers, especially the scorers that were. Okay, yeah, of course, a Yaremchuk or something like that will be an expected scorer. He's still our top scorer in the cup, along with Yusuf Yazic, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, goals galore, goal from Kalogeropoulos, which I was the happiest about, goal from Rodinei, which he needed, a wonderful header by Chiquinho, goal from Yazici, of course, as I said, Roman Yaremchuk, and of course the captain Panos Retsos coming in and scoring. We'll get to details in a moment, but the first thing I wanted to really touch upon is the difference that we saw. It's honestly it's not the difference in mentality, because yeah, of course this is a cup game against a second division side, but it's the difference in drive, if that makes sense. Because you're seeing players like Kalogeropoulos, you're seeing players like Yusuf Yazici, you're seeing players like Roman Yaremchuk that aren't really starters in this team go out and give it their all. And I'm not saying the game against Aris was easy, and I'm not saying that football was the only factor up there, the only factor of the draw, the only factor of us missing out on having the opportunity to go up +3. But I use this phrase quite often. I use this phrase perhaps as a rightful demand of this team, in which, yeah, okay, even losses will happen. The draw against Aris really feels like a loss at this point. But even these draws like that, which is still a bit mental that we haven't beaten Aris in Vikelidis in so long. But as of where we stand, coming to end the year, I think this was a needed result. Yeah, not necessarily the 6-0, but I think we needed momentum to make sure to be concentrated on a tricky game against Kifisia. Like, let's not lie to ourselves. Yeah, newly promoted side in Greece usually would fare as well as Biraklis just did. But Kifisia are where they are for a reason. It's the external factors as well that we've seen many times this season, and Kifisia is a must win for us to finish 2025 on top. And also, it's a much needed momentum boost for players like Rodinei, for example. Rodinei is the first example that comes to mind, because we've seen how much Rodi has been struggling in form. We've seen his mistakes. We've seen his, I don't want to say downward spiral of form, because I'm not really ready to say that Rodi is just having his age catch up to him. But certainly we've seen less than we expect of Rodinei. But we've seen him slowly take steps back up to his old self. We've seen him slowly take steps that are a must for the season continuing, and especially the games coming up and the crucial nature of the games coming up after the holidays. And you're seeing someone that has been a pillar of this team ever since he came in 3 years ago, and has been crucial in not just wins, but trophies, right? And then you're seeing him lose his step, not being able to produce as much, not being able to keep up as much defensively. But a goal in games like this, and the performance he put up in general, honestly, because it's really not just the goal. Roddy had a wonderful game, in my opinion. Those are the main benefits that you can pick up from a cup game like that. Those are the main things that you can look at and say, yeah, today was a wonderful victory score-wise and stuff. But we finish on top of the Cup League stage, a new format, which gives us home field advantage moving forward. We're getting and keeping players in form and getting players back in form, honestly. And then you're looking at the consistencies of it all. You're looking at the players that will keep producing for you. You're looking at the Chiquinho who scored a calm goal, if that makes sense. It was a very Chiquinho goal. I don't know if that tracks really, but it did feel like a very Chiquinho goal. You're seeing Yaremchuk, who honestly maybe should have even had 2 to his name, but didn't. Even for the fact of it, just counted that goddamn lob. If that counted, that would have been arguably, probably one of the goals of the cup campaign in general, dare I say. But it's all positives whichever way you try and look at it, right? And as the cup campaign ends, we finish top with, let me actually check out what's happening. We finish top, that's for sure, with Olympiacos, the very impressive Olympiacos second, Ike third, and Pana fourth. PAOK still playing. I don't know what they are actually doing with Marco. But it's honestly not something too insane to say that we just did what we should have done. Because it's a couple of games that can be proven as banana peel games. It's a couple of games that can be proven as tricky games also, right? But as of the place you're standing at, as a team like Olympiacos, as a team that is actually going on to chase everything this season, as a team that's also getting closer and closer to the very important goal of Champions League knockouts, as a team that is trying its best to actually go on and have another historic season, right? And as a team that has not necessarily a necessity, because we're all human, but as a team that has the cup and the league as a main focus always, because to win Olympiacos, it's as simple as that. The team has had that bad run in general at some points, but we're fighting at the top of everything. And yeah, these little dips are gonna come. Yeah, we're gonna see this, that, we're gonna see a draw here, the Champions League defeats up until we actually got the victory, the much needed victory against Kairat. But the most important thing was to capitalize on the momentum of the victory of Kairat despite the rough trip. Yeah, we didn't win at Vikelidis, but we didn't lose at Vikelidis as well, which means we're still top of the league. Finish the cup campaign on top as well, get the benefits of it, wait and see who you're going to face. And as I said, use the building momentum to go and kill Kifisya at the weekend and finish the year where you belong. At a more specific talk, at a more specific chatter, Botis, first of all, is someone I once again want to congratulate. Botis is a keeper that I've been preaching for ever since he came in from the Inter Academies. I've been preaching for him as very able to back up Solakis. I've been preaching for him as someone who needs to get more chances. And he's proving everyone right. And he's grabbing the chances he's getting by the horns. I know the last Syria game was a bit tougher, but again, I'm not blaming him for the goals that we conceded. And the Paschalakis injury is proving to be a blessing and a curse, especially before a period with lack of games, right? Which will leave Paschalakis to recover properly as well. Rodi, I talked about, more or less, I talked about what Rodi needed. I talked about what Rodi got from this game, what he gave us, because I feel like it's the first time in a while where we saw Rodi being one of the main reasons for such an important victory. Kalogeropoulos, again, you all know how much I admire and I love this guy. You all know how much I trust him. I've said that he's ready for bigger Super League games. We did keep a clean sheet against Aris. And then we come in here and completely destroy it, at least with him at the back. And honestly, we're seeing, not necessarily, I'm not going to just jump ahead and say that we're seeing a project that we are perhaps underestimating as a fan base. But I will go ahead and say that we're seeing a very, very promising young Greek centre back, and he's not just shown this at Olympiacos, he's shown this while he was on loan at Thrylos. He's shown this with the Ethnic Elpidon. He's shown this everywhere he plays. And if my eyes don't deceive me, and if this isn't just Recho's protection, and he's actually getting more and more trust from Mendilibar for games like this, I couldn't be happier to see him get more chances. And I don't think that there are many who actually go on and disagree. And I'm glad that I'm starting to see the love for Kalogeropoulos as well, as much as me and a lot of others have been preaching for. Now, this is a bit of a roller coaster of a pairing. Gustavo Mancha. That red card, that goddamn red card. That red card did stuff it shouldn't have to his belief, his momentum. We have seen positive things from Gustavo Mancha. We have seen things that were honestly pieces of a footballer that deserve to be in the team's rotation. I don't know how else to actually go on and put it. They were signs of a promising young centre back that's trying his luck in Europe. But he's not gotten extremely liked by the fan base. And after that costly and perhaps a bit ridiculous, to say it as calmly as possible and as respectful as possible, red card. I feel like as Kalogeropoulos is getting more and more trust, we're seeing someone that's getting less and less trust. And with centre back rumors flaring up, I honestly don't see him staying past January. I don't know if that's going to be a loan deal. I don't know if he's going to go off again somewhere else in Europe, back to Brazil. Perhaps we see him at Rio Ave. But I don't think he'll stay here. And sadly, I don't think he's good enough to stay here. I'd rather a loan, because I'm not going to go back on my word and actually say that that he doesn't deserve to be here. He's just not ready yet. He needs to improve on a lot of stuff. He has a lot of positive signs. Those haven't just disappeared on a bad run of form. But he needs experience. And the pressure of Olympiacos is not helping him get that experience. But thankfully, next to him, we had Ortega. And on the other side, we had Kalogeropoulos that covered him quite well. Not that Iraklis were a threat. Not that Iraklis actually would have challenged the game at any point today. But it's weird. It's weird because, again, I don't want to go fully back on my word because I backed Mancha. Gav backed Mancha. But, again, it's weird. It's a bit weird. So, Mendino is best. I think that's the best way to put it. And I think that's the safest way to put it, honestly. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes on. In front of him now was a weird duo, an unexpected duo. The duo of Lolo Scipioni and Diogo Nascimento. And honestly, I don't know what to say. Both of them had a good game. They did. They really did. Both of them had a good game. Both of them also had a quiet game. Nascimento got flipped. His role changed within the second half. And honestly, we saw Diogo Nascimento that we're used to seeing. We saw the Diogo Nascimento that we saw last time he played. He's just not really... I said this when I first saw the scout report as well. You can't trust Nascimento to be a defensive force in the team. And that's not because of his stature alone. That's because of his game. The moment Nascimento moved up, we saw a completely different game from him specifically. The moment Nascimento moved up, we saw a game that was effective, we saw a game that was productive, and we saw him on the field. I feel like the first half he disappeared. On the other side of the duo, I liked how Lolo played today. I mean, it's a 6-0 victory. It's hard to not like how someone played. But I liked how Lolo played today. I liked the efforts he took. I liked that shot, that chance he created, which forced a wonderful save from Nikopolidis, which is still weird to say, by the way. The issue, and I am putting up a lot of air quotes for this issue that Lolo has on the chances he's getting, is not really thinking what he does. He's a very spontaneous player. He's a very rambunctious player, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But we're talking about someone that's gonna go in there, that's gonna give it his 110%. But we're talking about someone that may get a yellow in the first 2 minutes of the game. He played well. He just needs to calm down a bit. And I'm sure that once he works on that, he'll get much more chances from Mendilibar as well. Because we know that Mendilibar doesn't take away chances. Now, on to arguably the most misused player of the year, and quite easily as well, Yusuf Yazici. Assist, goal, a nasty goal, a wonderful goal, and a masterpiece of an assist as well. He has, what now, if I'm not completely mistaken? He has 5 goals and 6 assists. Someone correct me on that if I'm wrong. And he's winning us games. Every time he plays, he's the main reason we win. And if we're set to win the game either way, he's the main reason we win comfortably. I know that he's not going to get used more. I know that it's a foul preaching at this point. But I hope, especially with someone like Remy Cabella being off to Nantes to assist Youssef El Arabi, I hope that he doesn't go in January because he's a necessity. At the very, very least, depth-wise, he's a necessity. And hopefully, which I believe we'll do, but hopefully, as we go on and qualify for the Champions League knockouts, we're going to see him added to the squad, and we're going to see him used a lot more and show off his skills in Europe as well, where he will be more than needed, given we make it. But there's no words for this player, honestly. There's no actual way to describe the effectiveness that this player has, not only in our creativity problem, but in our direct problem as well. He provides a goal or an assist almost certainly every time. And hopefully, today was a sign, and Remy's loan away was a sign that he's going to get more time slowly but surely. Chiquinho, the class that is, the quality that is, the talent that is, Chiquinho unlocked the whole attack, had a part to play in every goal, and as I said, put away a very cold header. And he's just Chiquinho. And it's what I said for Rodney as well. These games are incredible for players to get back in form after an injury as well, or after an absence. And that's exactly what Chiquinho did. And after a bad run of form, like Danny Podence, had a main part in 3 of the 6, showed off like he should, like Danny Podence can, and showed up. Because we've not been seeing any amazing side of Danny Podence. in the last couple of games, to say the least. But again, same for Rodney. If this is a needed momentum boost, hopefully along with the GFCA game, we're set. With Strefetsa also climbing up, we're set. Yaremchuk as well, finding a wonderful goal, finding 4. And onto the subs, Ruben Vezo. Christ. I don't have anything with the guy, right? And if he's being used as our 6th choice center back, of course I'm not going to be mad at it. I'm just still surprised that he's in the squad. The captain coming back from injury in an incredible fashion, scoring. The goals Rexos is scoring this year are still very pleasantly surprising. And it feels like, as with a lot of players on the squad, it feels like he's constantly improving. But that's Rexos. And I'm so glad he's setting up everyone that has anything to say about him. Speaking of constantly improving as well, Gabriel Strefetsa coming in, having a very good game, in my opinion at least, and just building on that momentum. Slowly but surely building on that momentum. And if he keeps scoring more goals, that would be incredible as well, but I'm sure that they'll come. Santiese, as always, bossing the midfield. And Mehdi Taremi coming in to rest. Yaremchuk didn't have a chance to do much, but at this point the game was already done. My only gripe about today, before I slowly but surely close off, is why couldn't we see Stavros Pneumonides today? Just give me a simple reason on why we couldn't see Pneumonides. I know, Mendy, and I know how he works. I know I've learned now. And we all know the incredible positives and the very tiny few, not necessarily negatives, but the very tiny few lackluster parts of not just his managing, but his play, not just his coaching, but his player managing as well. And of course he knows best. Of course he knows best. I have no doubts for that. But I don't think there were better chances to see Pneumonides or Liatsikuras for that matter. And I'll get into mentioning the B team in a bit because I wanted to spend the last few minutes of the show mentioning the B team. I think it's evident now that Pneumonides and Liatsikuras will only get chances if there's an injury, which God help it isn't. But I'm happy that they're getting quality minutes with the B team. And I wanted to segue into the B team after making this point because, as I said many times, with Romain Pitot, it went wrong somewhere. I don't know what happened. But now in comes Alvaro Rubio. And Alvaro Rubio debuts with an unlucky draw. And then we play Galeo today and score 3. And we're not only seeing a B team that's holding, that's grasping more of a connection with the senior team, but we're seeing a B team way more organized, way more talented, that actually has the mix needed with veterans like Mathieu Valbuena once he's back, and with players like Liatsikuras and Pneumonides, and that can actually give them quality minutes for them to be ready when needed for the senior team. And it's not just the trash bucket that it was. So I'm excited. And I'm not just losing my mind over the chances because I know that they're getting quality minutes. And honestly, that's about it for me today. I wanted to keep it short and sweet, but I did want to come back and talk. I did want to come back and give you all news on how I am. I wanted to talk about, I could have skipped talking about such a game, of course. And I wanted to honestly come back and update you all. Because it's some very exciting stuff coming up. I know the basketball wasn't ideal. go check out the articles I've written on socials. But the next show, and I will see you all for sure on Friday, where I'll be much better as well. Like the first week will have passed and I'll be in much better condition than I am today. And thank God, because I think with everything that I want to say about the basketball, it's really going to be like an hour or so to get your popcorn ready for after the Villarreal game, no matter how it goes, of course. Then on the weekend, I can't announce it yet, and I hate that I can't. But there is a recording coming up that will come up on Monday that has a massive opportunity to be one of the most exciting and most fun things that I'll get to do representing this brand. And then building into Christmas and the holidays, of course, there will be a bit of a break, but I am planning collabs. I am planning to get back into a regular scheduling. And of course, above all, I'm planning to improve. 2026 is going to be a historic year for this. I promise this to you all, and I'll keep proving it. And you're going to see a lot of fun stuff coming up. A lot that should have come up already, but of course, stuff happened, as you know. A lot that's in the works, and a lot that I have some wonderful people helping me to thank for. All in due time. Once again, thank you all so much for the support. It's insane how much you've seen me as Dennis go through the 1.5 year lifetime of the show. It's insane how much you've given me, and I appreciate that a lot. And as a motto that I'm keeping still is very true still. The best has truly yet to come. I believe that with my entire heart. And the fact that StreamYard started working the moment I am going to end the show is so ridiculous. But it sums up everything you need to know about this. So check out the links below, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you all Friday. Thank you.